Hello, I am here to explain how to play Duality. Duality is a game I'm currently developing that is a 1v1 dual faction battle game. And the way it's going to work is both players will pick two different factions out of the current 22. This is ever growing and constantly being balanced. Note everything in the game is all placeholder and pending artwork. This will be done over time. So the way the game's going to work is both players will pick factions. So let's just say, for simplicity, I'll pick these two. And the cover cards will list how the factions work. Kind of got shuffled there. So you can see the demons offer burst damage, Holy Knights offer sustainability, and on the backs of these cover cards explain how the factions work with all the stats of the heroes. So you'll notice that there are just 5 of each, so I'll have a total of 10 unique heroes. The opponent would also get the same, that let's say they have Legends of Horror and Pirates. So they have their 10 unique heroes. What you'll do is put them into the bags. And one thing I should note is whenever you go to pick factions, be sure to read the back of these cards because they will explain how the faction works as you get to more advanced decks, as the Fae have a long description of how to play them efficiently. So what you'll do is shuffle the 10 and you draw a hand size of 4 heroes. We could do the same for them, but we'll just play them as I'm pretending to play. And you'll be summoning these heroes onto your side of the board, and the goal is to wipe out the enemy team of 10. So let's say I wanted to summon Sigthut onto the board. The blue number is the soul cost to summon him, so he will cost 3 out of the 5 I start with. And then you have red is their attack, green is their health, and the R stands for range, and let's see if I can find, an M is melee, and that simply means melee needs to be summoned anywhere in the front. Range has to be in the back, and once you place cards, they don't move unless abilities say they can. So once you summon a card, they can't attack, but their abilities do work if available. So his is simply saying if he kills an enemy, he can deal 1 extra damage to another enemy. So you can't use it yet because he can't attack, but he will start exhausted, then it would pass over to the enemy. And at the end of your turn, you always draw back up to 4 cards. So let's say the enemy went to summon Celeste. Second player starts with 6 souls instead of 5, and Celeste costs 4 souls. You can see she deals 2 damage, has 8 health, and if she attacks a melee unit, she heals 2 health. So I'll pay the 4, and then it would go back over to me. So at the start of a turn is when you generate souls, and you get souls based on, you get 5 per turn minus the enemies, or I'm sorry, minus the heroes you have. So since I have 1 hero, I'll generate 4 souls. After you generate souls, you can do anything you want. At the end of your turn, you draw back up to 4 cards. So it's always gain souls, play, then draw. So I could have Sigthut attack her for 3 damage. And when you attack, there is no retaliation unless a card has a reactionary effect. Then I could go ahead and summon Teodric for 3, and Eratoth for 3. And you can see Teodric's effect is adjacent allies. Anyone just in this T form next to him gets +1 damage. And Eratoth I can go over in a bit. So I could have summoned Teodric first to increase Sigthut by 1 to instead deal 4 damage. And I'm simply playing a bunch of range because Celeste cannot heal against ranged enemies. So you want to make sure you counter the opponent. And then I would simply draw back up to 4 and pass my turn. You can also use these different stat trackers and damage markers to show that this unit does 4, as does this unit. Then the opponent could, they'll gain 4 souls since they have 1 unit on the board, and this is where you'd actually be playing them like normal and summoning these different heroes. So you can see Resk is very good against the setup I currently have, as he takes -2 damage from ranged enemies. So they would barely be hurting him at all. Let's pretend we're a bit further in and we have some form of melee in there as well. Whenever it comes time to attack, any unit can hit anywhere in the game. The only rule is you cannot hit a ranged unit if a melee is in front of it. So Celeste is protecting grass from being targeted, and the same can be said that Domathazot is protecting this unit, and Misa is protecting this unit. When a card dies is the unique feature of Duality is, let's say I was able to kill Celeste, is you then collect the essence of that hero, which is just the ability or a playstyle of the faction on the back. So later when you go to summon a new card, if I was summoning Dolmathazot, I could attach that essence to him. Now he has the exact same effect Celeste used to have on top of his current ability. If they do the same thing and kill Dolmathazot, they get his mechanic, and the one that was attached gets trashed. So the goal of the game, or playstyle of the game, is you have two factions you're combining, same with the opponent, and then you're going to be merging the playstyles of each other against each other. And it's simply wipe out the enemy's 10 heroes or get them to concede. If you see things like passive, that just means at the start of your turn, this is active every time. One-offs is just a one-time use. Summoned is the turn you bring the hero out. All of this is written in the notebook. It'll explain the terminology, and then you'll also see the rules explaining how to play the game. If you have any other questions, please feel free to comment, or you can follow our Discord channel for more information. Thank you.